Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's the 17th. Look, it's not the 17th, it's the 27th. I got the date right. I've already changed it. We're doing good so far, right? Okay, well, let's go look at the chart here. My water bottle is in the way of the screen. I have some food. Here I am again. Not completely done eating. Okay. So the E-mini has moved up a little bit. A decent overnight up move. There's still this 29.97, but I think that they would like it. So that's a possibility. Treasuries, a similar story overnight, a little bit of a move down, and maybe we can get back down into this range, perhaps. Now today, we've got some big news. Big news! I'm pregnant. No, we already knew that. No, the big news is personal. Oh wait, what the heck? Where is it? Personal spending, month over month. We are looking for a reading of spot 3% with a previous reading of spot 6. Quarter durable goods, spot 2 versus a previous reading of a negative spot 4. Core PCE price index, very important. The Federal Reserve is like, this is their favorite inflation measure. Spot 2 versus previous reading of spot 2. Durable goods orders, negative 1 spot 1 versus 2. And also, FOMC member Quarles is speaking. Oh, and personal income, 0.4 versus 0.1. And then later, we get consumer sentiment again. So, yeah. Some pretty significant data to come at today. You know, we've had so much political drama and all of that. I think that that's the main reason why the markets are down this week. And now we can get back to the economic numbers. And this is kind of the point at which I think we really sort out the action, you know? So, yeah, I'd say pretty important day. Well, let's start the robot up here so you guys can speak. Docs. Oh, it's still starting. There we go. Auto read. Yes. New York Fed takes $49 billion of securities in 14-day repo operation, smaller than the maximum of $60 billion. Is it starting to subside? Donald Trump tweets. Representative Adam Schiff fraudulently read to Congress with millions of people watching a version of my conversation with the president of Ukraine that doesn't exist. He was supposedly reading the exact transcribed version of the call, but he completely changed the words to make it sound horrible and me sound guilty. He was desperate and he got caught. Morning, Uzi. Adam Schiff therefore lied to Congress and attempted to defraud the American public. He has been doing this for 2 years. I am calling for him to immediately resign from Congress based on this fraud. Ooh, he's telling him to resign. Well, I don't think that Adam Schiff's going to do that. One could only hope. All right, guys, let me eat a little bit.
YouTube, Chromium, anything worth looking into?
What do you mean, Chromium? If you're coming here looking for stock picks, that's not what we do. We trade 10-year treasuries. We're about to have news come out in 7 minutes. Big news, so stick around. Okay, I'm seeing from First Squawk, U.S. offered to remove all sanctions on Iran in exchange for talks. Claims Iran president. That sounds unlikely, but hey, if we could get some talks, that'd be cool. I don't think that they're going to remove all sanctions, though. I don't believe them. Yeah, no, I don't believe them. Okay. Make sure we get Discord over here. Okay, so I can see other news outlets picking this up now. Live Squawk, Iranian president, U.S. offered to remove all sanctions on Iran in exchange for talks. Man, that must have happened during the UN. If that's true, it happened during the UN. Like they must have really wanted to talk to him while he was here, but it didn't happen. Wow, it's that's really bizarre to me. Mm-mm. Oh yes, is oil moving? It's moving down. Oh, it moved down big time. Almost a whole dollar. Almost. Let's see what the guys in our Discord are saying. Well, I don't see anything there. Well, we'll just link this here. 1 minute. They did pull. Okay, here we go. Here's the news. Okay. Not much of a move yet. I'm not seeing the stuff come through on Twitter. I see Donald Trump retweeting his thing. Okay, personal spending. Spot 1 versus spot 3 expected. That's not good. Core durable goods. Spot 5 versus spot 2. That is very good. Core price PCE price index. Spot 1 versus spot 2. Less than expected. Core durable goods. Month over month. Spot 2 versus an expected negative 1 spot 1. Personal income. Spot 4 versus an expected spot 4. Very, very mixed. There's a very, very mixed numbers. That does not really give us a clear short-term direction. On the measures of inflation, I would say, okay, well, personal spending was not as much as expected, and the core PCE price index was not as much as expected, but personal income was as expected. So on purely measures of inflation, that should move us up. But core durable goods was spot 2 versus an expected negative 1 spot 1, which is very,
YouTube,
very good.
Peuchos, BTC on 4K soon. What you say?
Maybe. Core durable goods orders month over month spot 5 versus spot 2. I don't know. So, I mean, it's very difficult to predict short-term price movements on Bitcoin because you're essentially trying to predict like what one person is going to do. So do they stop here? Do they puke? It's who knows. All I know is that it's still a little bit overbought. And we could continue to move down. There also, that weekend can be a doozy.
YouTube, Peuchos. Oh, okay, I understand.
So there's very, very often a late Friday move in Bitcoin going into the weekend, and then a weekend move that really sets the pace for like what the coming week is going to look like. So if you see them sell it today and then that continues through into Sunday, then I would be concerned that probably means that it's going to be a sell week. Okay, so far I didn't get a trade. I didn't get a news trade because there wasn't a clear imbalance or outperformance. It looks like they're pricing it into the upside. Now we've got those spots that we were at yesterday, like 04 half and then 07 half. But are they even going to be able to break out of this range? First is a kind of an open question. I'm not getting any kind of signal yet. I'm also not seeing a ton of big fish out there right now. O two half, 03. I mean, I'm tempted. That might be a really strong uptrend. How high can they go? The E-mini's turning down a little bit. O2 half is a node of some sort. That's also like the low point in the profile. So it would make sense that there would be a little bit of, hey, we might pivot here kind of action. Okay, so the 30 year is showing me something. The 5 year is showing me something.
Twitch, Badabung, hello there.
Hey, welcome back. How have you been? Did you have a good week? We had an okay week, I think. I'm not so sure that I want to short this, but it is telling me to short it. I don't know. Oh, hey, you know what? Just do a question. Really.
Twitch, Badabung, well, yeah, was good.
Nope. Nope. Still nope.
Twitch, Badabung, HB Ors.
HB years? Oh, well, yeah. I think we did pretty good this week. Yeah. We built up our account in the e-mini a little bit, and I think almost every day has been slightly profitable. Not like huge winners, but like we've come out positive every time. There's been a couple of trades that really frustrated me though. This right here is kind of frustrating me a little bit because I wouldn't mind being long in this, but you just can't. Because I was not savvy enough to say,
Twitch, Badabung, sounds good.
I mean, I did kind of say like, well, maybe they will go up because of inflation, but who knows because of these other numbers. I wasn't confident. Maybe if I had gone with my gut, I would have gotten long, but I would say that that's kind of luck at that point. Coveney, not particularly hopeful that any deal will emerge, says there are significant gaps between both sides. He met with Michael Barnier, who also happens to be meeting Brexit Secretary Steve Barclay today. Support for impeachment rises 7 points. Oh, so it's 37 instead of 30% now? Yeah, 43. 43%. Sorry. Not enough. In fact, here's a problem. As you're watching the impeachment thing, this is a thing that markets really care about. The Democrats are like in full court press mode right now. Like they're putting every story. You go to Reddit and just read the headlines, right? Okay, they're doing everything they can to try and make this a big thing. The main propaganda tactic that Democrats use is it's popular, right? Support is increasing. You'll notice they'll argue about it. There will be a poll about Elizabeth Warren that says that Elizabeth Warren is on top, and then there will be another poll that's good for Biden, and everybody will be in there and they'll say, "See, there's a groundswell of natural support for Bernie Sanders," and they'll argue over who actually has the momentum, because this is important to Democrats for some reason. That's the That's what they try and that's the tactic that they use to convince people. And so you're going to see a lot of poll indicates X, blah, 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 blah. But if they actually had it, if it was actually like really in their favor, they'd already be doing it. You know, the House has not had a vote on whether to have an official impeachment inquiry. So what they're doing is not actually an impeachment inquiry. They haven't voted on it. Traditionally, there would be a vote to have an inquiry first, then it would go to the Judiciary Committee, then they would vote on it, and then they would bring it to the floor, the articles of impeachment, and then if those pass, then you take it to the Senate. They haven't done any kind of vote. Maybe they don't have it, maybe they're just afraid to put themselves on record, but that's how you know. That's how you know that maybe it's not so. I'm a little looking at this 03 half. It's telling me that it might flip. but it told me that in the 30 year, one or two ticks back. So it's trying to push it. It's curious that they're not making it to 04, 04 half. They just kind of touched it and now they're backing off. That suggests to me that, well, there's too many people selling there. And there's still a lot bid at 02 half. So I think I want to sit back a little bit and just watch it. It's suggesting sell to me, but I think I'm going to have to watch and hold off here.
Twitch, Badabung, so you are trading now?
Yes. Well, I'm not in a position.
YouTube, Peuchos, it's good to think fast, but when you see something like this, is better to wait.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I mean, that was a sell, right? You'd have a take right now. But I'm kind of just wanting to feel it out still. And the problem is that because the numbers were positive towards inflation, you have that would suggest that we could keep moving up. So we don't necessarily want to be taking a short. A short might not last very long. And like I said, the volume that you're getting here is not quite right. Like, it's mostly selling. That makes me think that we're going to come back down here and then somewhere around
Twitch,
like a 1.
Badabung, so if you good at trading, can you just don't go to work and sit at home and trade? Or is it not that much money?
Yeah, good question. So I would say that for the vast majority of people, it's not going to be enough money. Okay. When you look at the amount of time that you put into it and the amount of money that you would end up making, like let's say that we traded 10 contracts. Okay. I could maybe make, so if we caught a 4 ticker, that would be, that'd be like $600, right? Okay. So let's say that we make on average 4 ticks a day. We have a 10 ticker. Okay, that's a lot of money. Well, to trade 10, you need to have $5,000 essentially. Okay. So could you live on $600 a day? Maybe, but that's a lot. That you're really swinging high. You probably are
YouTube,
gonna
Peuchos,
lose it.
Badabung, in my opinion, to be a trader, you must have big money on trade to make profit, or you will make like $5 a day and is not worth. Better go to work, grinning face.
Right. Yeah. So if the goal is to day trade and get filthy rich, you're going about it wrong. For sure. The amount of effort, like the thing is you do that, but it takes years to get good at this. It takes years to get good at this. Probably at least 3 years before you're even, thinking about maybe being consistently profitable, and if you're trading live that whole time, you're going to lose a lot of
Twitch,
money in the
Badabung,
meantime.
well, yeah, I do go to work and I am a surgeon now, so yeah, carrot.
Oh, that sounds like day trading and surgeon would be way too much stress. I don't know, man. That's a lot. But here's the thing. Like I said, okay, you got to be doing it for the right reasons. If you're doing it to get it, this is your get rich quick scheme, yeah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But there's other reasons. Okay, one reason is you enjoy it. I mean, that's the main reason that I do it. Hold on, I want to be closer. I want to be closer. There we go. Okay, you enjoy doing it. You like trading. That's a good reason. Okay, but here's another good reason, and one of the reasons that I think that you should look at scalping is you learn to trade. Okay, so you can come in, you can learn to trade. You don't necessarily have to be consistently profitable, but you understand things about the short-term markets, and then you can go out there, and when you want to do your regular investing, you're so much better informed. You know so much more about the markets. You actually have the opportunity to catch highs and lows in the markets and buy and sell at the right times with like a larger portfolio. And so the idea is you don't necessarily stay a scalper forever. You start making money on it, and you start making money from your regular job, of course, and you build up. And now you start taking swing trades, and then you start just managing a large portfolio, right? And you slowly move towards the alpha strategies that are really going to bring you a strong and consistent return. Okay, you do day trading because it's low risk. You're not going to make as much because it's lower risk. So it's supposing you're doing it
YouTube
right.
Peuchos Badabung don't trade please if you cut a penis in the man no need that because he need a heart is better to be a clear mind and not tired smiley face.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I find trading stressful sometimes. Sometimes I find it
Twitch,
really stressful.
Badabung, I work at night sometimes but usually day it's stressful and you have to be precise kinda hard if someone trust you with her life it's actually not an easy job.
Yeah. See, I do. Sometimes I find the stress too much. Like if there's anything going on at work that's stressful, and then you put this on top of that, it's like it's too much. And then like the gym and stuff like that, it's really hard balancing it with the gym because sometimes the gym can be really physically taxing for me. And yeah, it can actually affect your trading. Although I think I've become aware enough about it. The last couple of cycles hasn't been an issue, but yeah. Oil drops after Reuters quotes Iran's president saying U.S. offered to remove all sanctions in exchange for talks. Zero Hedge says Iran's president really mastering how to move markets with fake news. Do you think so? You think that he's lying? I don't believe him. Must be on the same. I see another thing. New York Fed takes 22 billion of securities in overnight repo op. So, is there the 7-day thing and then there's the overnight thing? That must be what it is. So for the overnight thing, they didn't do a whole lot, did they? By the way, do you see how look we had a 4-tick pullback and now we've pushed up and we pushed a little bit higher? So aren't we glad that we didn't take that short? I mean, if we did, we would have gotten 2 ticks out of it, but would it have been worth it? Especially, that it might be coming back to your entry or you might be taking a small loss on it now at this point. Yeah. I thought that the problem with my microphone was the jack here, because if I wiggle the jack, but if I do that, oh, maybe it is. I don't know if it's the microphone or the headphone. I think it might be. I think that this kind of a cord. I think I need to go back and buy a springy cord like I had before. Because there's just too many times where like you forget to take your headphones off, you stand up, and then it's just like
YouTube Ace Trades I'm short 2987.00.
Really?
YouTube Peuchos I hear you good.
Oh yeah, no. It should sound great. It's me hearing myself and me hearing the text to speech sounds a little weird. I'm really tempted to get in. Actually, no, I can't do it. Um, I see the short. The pressure certainly seems, at least temporarily, to be down, but I'm getting an outsized
YouTube
activity here.
pages don't do it.
We're in outsized activity here and we're heading down, and we were heading down already, which suggests that they might turn, that they might be turning and the E may need to go higher. Although it definitely supports the trade in the Treasury, the way that the Treasuries just moved up there to 0.5 and they're getting a strong bid underneath of them as well.
YouTube
So,
Ace Trades would have loved to get that 2989.50.
so I think I can. We're making a little bit of we're taking the shorter side of the probability here, if that makes sense. So when we get one of these events, it doesn't necessarily mean reversal. It means reversal like 60% of the time. So we can kind of use discretion to determine when it's going to break out. They might be trying to push it down. I mean, seeing what I'm seeing right now in the treasuries suggests that that's what they're doing. Hook, Iran's claims of sanctions being removed is baseless. U.S. government is committed to zero oil exports from Iranian regime. Oil is moving back up. Iran is solely responsible for Saudi attacks. Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. Who's Hook? I don't know who that is, but okay. Okay, so now there is an iceberg at 0.5 half. I'm going to put an order here. Oh, you know what? We didn't do it in our account. Okay. Well, they pushed through that iceberg at 0.5 half. Almost 7K. Now they're pushing through 0.50 as well. Got to be careful about reading too much into those, though. How big are these spikes? They're actually not that big. Okay. So the 10 years still kind of is suggesting to me that there aren't a lot of large players in the market right now. Hmm. You're in a spot where there's been a lot of pressure and volume.
Twitch, Badabung, I don't understand trading XD.
Well, let me try and explain how I make the decision, right? I'm watching people in these blue and red columns. These are people putting out orders to get filled at specific prices, right? I like to see an area where there's a lot of people trying to get into a spot and they're not getting filled. So, for instance, there was about 12,000 orders or so placed, removed, changed, whatever, around the '05 half to '06 area. And then they sold 7,000 into '05 half and they came down. Okay. So there was a big buyer there and they filled him and they pushed through him. So that makes a pretty good chance that they're going to go down a little bit and then start ranging around. Now I'm making it all super complicated. I'm making it too complicated for you. That's the gist of it. There was a buyer there, they pushed through it. That's what happened. Now, how do you make the choice? You're looking for a spot where there's an imbalance. See? See that? 42.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, and you're showing him the wrong screen, lol.
Oh, okay, let me restart, okay? We're looking for an imbalance in the 10-year. Imbalance. See it? 7,000 bought or
Twitch,
sold.
Badabung, asterisk her.
Asterisk her. Okay. 7,000 sold. 42 bought. Okay. 3,000 sold. 185 bought. So, in terms of market orders,
Twitch,
who's in
Badabung,
control?
yep.
Who's in control? The seller. He's pushing. He's pushing down. He's pushing through pretty significant volume. And then when you look at this one right here, only 589, 1386, right? Probably it continues until you get to one.
Twitch, Badabung, my stream is lagging kinda, but I am trying to understand.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry if I'm getting like laggy. Maybe we need to adjust something, but okay. It's gonna go until you get to this. So maybe here we get to this spot and okay, they trade back up, right? Okay, so this price right here is possibly balanced. And you can see in the volume profile that it is, right? Okay, so they sold through these big orders. Now they're going to shuffle around here and balance back out. So now, if this is balance, then for it to move, then there needs to be another imbalance, right? Which means more market buyers come in or these sellers pull. Okay, so for instance, they ticked up there pretty easily. It doesn't hold. Well, I'm not liking the E-mini trade here, guys. It's okay, we can just kind of hold it and see what happens. But the bigger problem for us in the treasuries is this right here.
YouTube, Ace Trades, yeah, I'm out. Just had FOMO, I guess.
I don't know. The question is how do I want to manage it? Should I just let it stop out at the -8 or should I see if it comes back? I think my tendency is to let it come back just because in the E-mini I have, in the very, very short time frame, I don't really have a very good read. So I could, who knows? But the thing is they started pushing up and I still have a little bit of room. So if the treasuries decide to turn here and then the E-mini starts moving down again, I might be okay. That's what I'm thinking. And it's like $5 that I'm risking there on that. So that's acceptable. Okay. Right here in the ZN. Biden considers new Wall Street tax to match Warren and Bernie. Would he actually do that? I don't think he'd actually get it. Okay. So they pulled down through me pretty quickly. I might be too early. This '06, how long has that been there? Ever since we were up there originally. A lot more liquidity above us. And not really stuff setting up below us, but there is something at evens. Okay. So here again, look, we came down quite a bit. And as we've come down, there's a lot of people placing orders again. Much more than there was before, right? Much more than there was before. So an indication that the market is imbalanced at this area. So we're taking it for a reversal. It went through us, but it's not unusual to get 2 to 3 ticks of excursion. So I kind of just have to take my lumps if they do it. U.S. denies offer to remove sanctions on Iran. I'm feeling a bit good about that one. When they came out, I was like, I don't believe them. Right? I have video evidence, guys. I wasn't tricked. You can't trick me, Iran. I know. I know what's what. There's not a lot of liquidity in the 10-year either. What's with that? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Kind of caught it at the. Well, I should have waited a little bit, right? And now it's doing this gappy gap thing. So as much as I would like to try and buy it again, it's probably a bad idea here.
Twitch Dojo 2022 all short 130.080 if it gets back up there.
All the way up there? Suppose it's possible. I mean, the piece of news was relatively bullish bonds, right? I'm wondering though, like the thing that I see is that the opening range was between 07.5 and 04.5, which have been key prices all this week anyways. And now we're below the opening range. They're doing they came down here and they had a little quick move up and back down. I correctly interpreted that as a chop zone.
Twitch Dojo 2022 all probably depend on what happens at the NYSE bell.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a key. I mean, the news that we just got was significant. Significant news. It was a little mixed. The issue you might have There, they took us out. The issue you might have is um, this just gives them
Twitch,
room
Dojo
to
2022, Fridays.
yeah. This just gives them room to continue to be easy. And since it's like consumer sentiment in an hour, maybe that's why the big guys aren't in. So now it's telling me again.
Twitch, Badabung. I am out for today. Pretty tired. Good night, y'all. All and much fun.
Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Well, the fill is a little bit better this time. ECB says it intervened in FX markets in 2010.
YouTube, Greg
2011.
Orlovsky. It's all hovering type movement.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, it's really weird when you look at the big orders, completely absent. That was the news right there. So that was the news. Then putting the liquidity back on for the news. And since then, it's like it's dead. They had a strong move up, but they're not doing it with the large orders. But that doesn't mean that we can't take trades. It just means that our range is probably going to be more constrained. Should reset everything. And EU data were similar, but it couldn't stop sliding. Market probably biased down for the day and risk on. Says Alligator. That's probably a good point. Just the fact that we're below the opening range low and everything. Ten-year takes a down tick. Hitting into a 1.5. A little tepid, but well, somebody appears to be buying it here passively. It's still going back and forth. Look at this big old order right here at 30.5 in the 5-year. Nancy Pelosi, I do think the Attorney General has gone rogue. He has for a long time now. So you notice how now all of a sudden they're talking about Pence and the Attorney General? Which, like, why would it even matter? Snap. Didn't expect it to go quite like that.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. It's like every scandal was preloaded for the dump. YouTube,
Like
Uzi
that.
Knesset. You the media is dumping right now, lol.
I mean, there's no question that certain media outlets try and play the story and outright help one party or the other. It's the Washington Post in particular, like that's the one where you would want to go, and that's where to read the Democrat talking point for the day.
Twitch, Dojo 2022. I don't agree with everything that Jimmy Dore says, but he had a really good interview with Aaron Maid about the double standards in politics. It was hilarious.
I just, one of the things that I look for in a situation like this is, like, in terms of who's going to win, like, the messaging battle, right? Who is talking more nuanced? Okay, so, like, let me try and explain that, because nuance is maybe not necessarily the best word, because when we think nuance, we think, oh well, it's good to have nuance in what you see, right? Okay, but it's not good. It's not good for messaging. So, what is the Democrat message right now? Well, if you look at that, the situation that was with Ukraine, and then you look at what Donald Trump said, and you keep in mind.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, whistleblower, transcript, cover up, now one about misusing a secret database. They have all this crap and they can't take him down? Lol.
And then this is a pattern of behavior. Okay, like, I went on Reddit, and there was this post where this person was like, this is my smarty pants proof of that Donald Trump is trying to influence the election.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I think one makes more sense, lol.
Right.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. It has to be one of two things. One, they legitimately have nothing, or two, Trump is somehow God.
So anyways, there was this post where this person, like, was going through all of this stuff about the call and everything that proves that Donald Trump is evil and corrupt. And I'm sitting here like, this post is longer than the actual transcript of the conversation that we're talking about here. Okay? Now you look at the Republican. What is the Republican explanation? This is just two guys shooting the bull, and there's no quid quo pro or pressure or anything, and it's perfectly fine. Okay? That's the difference. So, using Occam's razor, who's more likely to come out on top in that situation? The fact that the Democrats have to use so many words to try and explain their position tends to make people ignore it in the long run. It's like, the longer it goes out and the more complicated the story gets, because they think it's all about public support. That's the way that all of their propaganda works, right? They think it's about public support. Well, they think that the more you can put out, the more you get that public support. And so the story starts getting more and more complex. And what keeps happening to them is they take it too far. It gets too complicated, and the public loses interest or decides that the whole thing is bunk. If it was a simple message, and they were able to just hit that over and over and over again, then it would be a different story.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I mean, how were we able to impeach Clinton over lying about a blowy, but they can't impeach Trump for any of the daily things the media reports on? Grinning, squinting face. Twitch, Dojo 2022. Listening to Rachel Maddow's rambling explanations makes my head spin.
Yeah. Rachel Maddow is like the perfect example, right? The perfect example there. Thinking, where was I taking that? I'm unhappy about those two trades. Okay, now something's happening.
YouTube Uzi Knesset ZP is staying pretty consistently contained within the first standard deviation of the VWAP thinking face.
Yeah, that's true. Now they're doing something here. This could be tricky though. There are more people selling
YouTube
newsletters than there
Uzi
are human
Knesset boing
traders.
boing 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 bouncy lol.
Zero Hedge tweets, there are more people selling newsletters than there are human traders. Is that really the case? That's interesting to me. Here's a thought. It seems to me that a lot of trading just has to do with having the right opportunities. You know, if you happen to be in a market that is doing really well, um, then you can make a lot of money, and you don't even necessarily have to be good. Like in 2017, when Bitcoin was going up, all of these guys that were day trading Bitcoin thought they were freaking geniuses, right? And then Bitcoin went down, and it was a different story, right? When money is coming into a market, it's like everybody makes money. And when money is coming out of a market, even the best traders have difficulty making money. Even if you can go short, it's just very difficult because money is coming out of the market. Okay. It seems to me that the trading environment for short-term trading has not been very good for several years, and I'm seeing a lot of this is why traders fail right now. Uh, Trading's not a very good um, idea. This sort of a thing, and perhaps that suggests that an environment in which trading is easier, let's say, is coming. That, you know, when people are most against trading is probably the point at which you would want to start getting into it. Maybe just a thought, theory. Let's call it a theory. Hmm? Islands Coveney says EU ready to negotiate, but UK hasn't sent a serious proposal. Mm-hmm. This whole international negotiation thing is really kind of odd to watch because it's basically like, well, here's what we want, here's what they want. Oh, we can't make a deal. Well, they're not serious because they're not going to give us everything that we want. It's like, how are you ever going to make a deal under that with saying those sorts of things? Huh? Oh, they didn't come up with a serious proposal. I think they're trying to play hardball, but maybe you're playing too hard of a ball. I don't know. Especially with this UK thing, like you would think, well, it's kind of a difficult situation for them, right? Of course, the EU doesn't want them to leave, and they don't want to give, you know, the UK this lovely deal that would make everybody else say, hey, you know, maybe it's not a bad idea to just leave and let the European Union go by the wayside. But then on the other hand, it's like, do you really want to like destroy the UK economy? Because come on, guys. If there's a hard Brexit and it sends the world into a recession or something like that, maybe you should have tried a little harder on the negotiation. So there's been quite a bit of back and forth. The big order that was kind of doing stuff all over the place. Not really there. There's an uptick finally. Not a strong bid. Alligator says pullback waiting ES. And ES came up here to the top of this range and is just kind of sitting there. I'm like halfway in the queue.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, S89.75 did a 6-lot watching.
Well, it's a little too close to the E-mini opening for me to be trying to take a trade in the E-mini.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, now the Attorney General has gone rogue lol. YouTube, Algo Lover, just dropping by to say hey. Grinning face.
We're still in the same area from before, aren't we, Algo Lover? I'm wondering, this news was key news for us to watch in terms of getting a direction on the economy. It told us a few things, but it doesn't look like that the market is incredibly excited about it. Now, it might be that they want to wait for the consumer sentiment. That's been a really important number lately, right? So maybe after consumer sentiment. It can also be that it's a Friday, of course, and there's been a lot of craziness, and so maybe some of the big traders are trying to make some of their money back. But maybe the case is that between 130 and 131, they've found some balance, and we may spend a great deal of time here.
YouTube, Algo Lover, ZN range 130, 140 on the upside or 129, 235 on the downside, ping pong until one goes, okay hand.
Eric Erickson, I am actually kind of horrified at the number of people who really believe Biden had the power to fire a Ukrainian prosecutor and did so to help his kid. Well, that's interesting.
YouTube, Algo Lover, WED. 4:55 p.m. Algo Lover, CL if sellers hold this bounce below 57.50, then 54.75 target. If 57.50 goes bid before trading down, then anticipate squeeze higher nerd face done thumbs up.
57.5? Oh, that's so... Well, I'm wondering if we're going to get a little move higher because there was that whole drop on Iran saying that the U.S. wanted to negotiate, and then they came out and they said that was fake news. I don't have my cumulative delta up, and it's been a while, and it's kind of still balanced slightly lower, but that kind of a sort of a thing could cause a stop run the opposite
YouTube,
way.
Algo Lover, that
could cause a stop run the other way. So it's like could move up. Iran wanted me to lift the sanctions
YouTube,
imposed on
Algo
them in
Lover,
order to
is
meet.
over
I
now, okay
said,
hand.
of course, no. There you have it, folks. Of course he said no.
YouTube, Algo Lover, WED. 12:58 p.m. Algo lover note, S upside line in sand 3001, downside 2940.50, until 1 breaks equals range bound nerd face.
This is trade, by the way, is not exactly going the way that I wanted. Like, I got the fill and I was hoping to maybe pick back up again at 25. So now I have this thing where I have a winner, but on one contract because I took one contract off. And so because of that, there's no way I'm going to make more on my, on my winners than those two losers to make up the difference, basically. Donald Trump. It was a perfect conversation with the Ukraine president. I'm just watch watch the way that he takes it and the way that the Democrats take it. Okay, what did the Democrats have to say today? The president is corrupt. Apparently, the vice president is corrupt now. The attorney general has gone rogue. And there's this huge conspiracy. All of these different little points that they're having to pick up here, right? And what does Donald Trump have to say? Oh, it was a great conversation. I would
YouTube
take.
algo lover, you are good if they trade up the range. Again, okay hand.
It's kind of. I should probably move this. Because the thing is if they get out, at 05 half was where they were before, right? If they come short of that, then of course I got to take it off. But if they go through it, then this 07 half and beyond is totally within the conversation, and I would probably want to. Giuliani engaged with at least 5 Ukrainian prosecutors in a gambit to help Trump and get an investigation launched on Hunter Biden. He pushed to oust successfully the ambassador after he says he slowed people from coming to the U.S. talking to him. Okay.
Twitch, Dojo 2022. Hunter Biden got an age-related waiver and a waiver for a past drug-related incident to get into the Navy. Then he gets kicked out of the Navy for cocaine. Definitely board of directors material.
Right.
YouTube, algo lover, you are so distracted with other subjects most days face with tears of joy.
Well, it's nice that I can kind of talk and just watch the order flow, and I don't know. It's nice to talk about other things. Because man, I mean the way that your brain works, it's kind of, if you try and sit and just watch the numbers for 2 hours silently, that's not gonna work. Sorry, it's just not. You're right. Like that's the really funny thing about it is that in the end, how does Joe Biden come out of this thing unscathed? Even if Eric
YouTube,
Erickson is
algo
right.
lover, I guess winking face.
Eric Erickson brought up a good point there where he's saying, it's pretty unlikely that Joe Biden all by himself can get a prosecutor fired. I think he's probably right,
Twitch, Dojo 2022. My mentor plays Candy Crush when markets get like this.
Yeah. That probably there were a lot of reasons why the prosecutor was fired, and Joe Biden was just kind of that extra pressure point at the time that they did it. So he thinks that it was all him, when probably it's more complicated than that. But the thing is it doesn't matter. Like, it's really hard to look at the messaging on that and be like, well,
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I play Sniper 3D lol.
Here's Biden bragging about getting him fired. I wish I could play my aim trainer, but I would have to do a 3D application. That wouldn't really work. Maybe if I had a second machine or something. I've thought about that. Because I would like when I play Overwatch and you're sitting in the queue, because right now, if you want to play damage, the queue time is ridiculous. And I want to practice in between. And so if I like, I'll get a second computer and do the aim trainer while I'm in the queue over here or something, you know? KVM switch between them. Maybe when we build a new computer, we'll do that. We can have a stream machine and get a new computer. We'll take the internals for this and
YouTube,
make that the
Algo
stream
Lover.
machine.
Hey, did you ever go back and review your stop placements, i.e. if you locked in ticks, like on this trade? Thinking face.
So I typically don't move it, although I should move that. Here's the E-mini going. That's what that was. Okay. I just, for a second, I was like, was there a piece of news? No, it was just the E-mini opening. Watch them sell it. Every day. It's like every day now, the opening drive is a sell. Every freaking day now.
YouTube, Algo Lover, gotta run, HAGD. Thumbs up.
Yeah. On the reviewing the stop placements thing, I'm not necessarily review the stop placements, but I've definitely reviewed like how many favorable ticks I was getting, and if I took certain adjustments, this is how much I would make and everything like that. Which is why I have that thing with it's good to take those first two ticks, because I know that I almost always get the two. Like if I was only trading two ticks, I think that I would be winning like 70% of the time or something like that. Okay. What the heck? Okay. Oh, it didn't do it because no orders went through. So because it's so choppy in here, I might be able to sneak a tick in. No, definitely there was a spot I should take it off at. Man, Donald Trump is really focused on that. Really focused on that Adam Schiff thing. When will the algos notice? Who will win the 2020 presidential election? Then he's pointing out a huge increase in Warren, but still Donald Trump on top. Okay. So yeah, I need to make an adjustment here on the way that I deal with multiple contracts. I think that what I should be doing, well, I think that what I have to do, really, quite frankly, is um, hmm. So if it goes forward, then that's minus. But if it goes, then that still would be. I still think it's like I would for. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's one should stop out at 2 and one should stop out at 4 or something like that. Or I should just do all in and all out, is maybe what I should do. Strategy manager. So do I have one that's like let's just make a new one called all. And the stop can be 4. And the target can be 8. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing some liquidity changing around in the 10-year. Darn. Tough for me to buy O5 half. But they're preventing it from going back down. Certainly in the chop area.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, good morning, Speculatorsith, how is the trading going today?
Eh, I'm not too happy with it so far. Not only because it's slow, but because I had two signals that just totally did not go my way. And this one is probably going to go up and never fill me. It's kind of in that no matter what you do, you're wrong. Like if I buy O5 half, then they're going to push down and they'll clear O5. But if I sit here and I wait for a fill at O5, they'll never fill me and push up.
YouTube, Ace trades, at Winstanzamom, I dragged him into a bad trade. My fault.
Well, we could take another one. I mean, the dumb thing about that is that they did eventually go a little bit lower. It was just in the range. It was just in the choppy area. I don't think we should take one. And like at the 745. Sorry, I just got distracted with another thought there. You've totally forgot what I was even saying now. With the way that the E-mini is trading, it is a little bit choppy. Maybe they push down further. I mean, they are pushing new lows. But I think that the market may be acting the way that it is because of consumer sentiment. And so if that's the case, then a trade here around the 740, 745 timeframe might not actually be a great trade. Now we did get a move there. Like this might actually be a buy.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, good morning, Ace. I saw you wrote FOMO earlier. You are a fearless trader, not a FOMO machine.
Oh yeah, Ace said that, huh? I was like, why would you say that? Like you have a pretty clear signal that you take, right? It's not always gonna work. Well, that sucks that I never got filled. If they tick back down, I don't know if I actually even want it.
YouTube, Ace trades, at Winstanzamom, that is true. I did take the trade based on a good signal, but I also just wanted to make my money before waffles.
You get lots of signals, but you don't necessarily want to take all of them. That's, I guess, his point.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, Seth, did you watch the video I linked last night? Has that been your experience? Chicken and waffles, not Ace the Chicken.
So I didn't watch the video, but I'm guessing that the video is going to be some video of some guy, really living up life and having lots of rich things and stuff like that. And I'm like, most traders probably not. A successful trader probably is going to be really frugal, in fact. They'll just have an average middle class, upper middle class kind of house and everything. I keep thinking like I should just buy 05 half.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, Eileen read a lot from the video.
Oh, I'll have to go watch. I was going to say to that, I was like, well, you should go and see what Ace does with his free time. After he's done with the
YouTube,
trading and the
Ace
waffles.
Trades. At Winstanzamom, there has been a complaint about the frequency of waffles, so it's now scrambled egg sandwiches till morale improves.
Morale. I think that's supposed to be there's supposed to be an E on the end of that, right? Oh gosh, guys.
Twitch, Dojo 2022, the only way to become mega rich is to trade other people's money, haha.
That's probably true, though. If you're an institutional trader, then it's a totally different game. So now that I'm filled, this is where they're going to turn.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, I like a good waffle but eggs are nice. I like scrambled eggs with catsup. They taste like shrimp.
Really want to see if this fills.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. 1. Get up and continue drinking. 2. Walk over to computer and make sure I'm up $9,000 in the Forex. 3. Go to pool and watch the ladies play. 4. Go to park and do massive workout with girlfriend. YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. Take cool muscle car and meet up with friends who have a boat. Overload the boat with friends and dogs.
With friends and dogs, what?
YouTube, Ace Trades, Monday, Habitat for Humanity work.
Oh, there you go. There you go. See, he's smart with his time. Well, guys, this is why you don't trade on Friday.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. That's the video.
Is that really what the video is? Oh, man. That is certainly not what my day. Okay, so if I was doing this, like
YouTube, Winstanzamom, Greg, lol, yep, that's the video.
if I
YouTube, Ace Trades, Tuesday, rock climbing.
There you go. If I didn't have a day job, then it would probably be like
YouTube, Ace Trades, Wednesday, fly fishing. YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. Yes, thank you, WM. YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. I watched it at 3 a.m.
Oh man. You're
YouTube,
gonna keep going.
Ace
You're gonna keep
Trades,
going.
Thursday, yard work.
Yeah, yard work. He does his yard work. He does his own yard work. I don't know, man. I guess you gotta have
YouTube,
something.
Ace Trades, Friday, leave for weekend fling.
Weekend fling. See, if it was me, my day would be like trade for a little bit. Go take care of the alpacas, because if I was rich, I would have alpacas. Live in a farm and have alpacas, and then probably produce
Twitch,
music.
Dojo 2022. Don't forget that the soundtrack to the video has to be Glitch Hop.
and then do weightlifting and play video games. That would be my day. That would be my day every day, and I would probably just do that. Probably. No, I think at some point I would have to have a day job. I'm just totally not with it at all, guys.
YouTube Ace Trades, those alpacas, just another mouth to feed. Lol. How would you leave for 2 weeks in France? YouTube Winstanzamom SSSHH. You aren't supposed to tell anyone about our weekend fling. My plane is on time. I am flying first class, of course. YouTube Greg Orlovsky. Seth, this guy is up 9K before he wakes up drunk and keeps drinking, then does high caffeine drinks to keep going.
What? Well, I'm doing terrible here today, guys. I'm not
YouTube
sure what
Ace
my deal
Trades.
is.
At Winstanzamom, my driver will meet you in limo with a sign, WM wanted.
Part of that was I wanted to see the fill. I think I stopped taking it seriously. I already took a loss on half of it, though. I'm thinking, though, probably.
YouTube Ace Trades got a short signal at 2983.50 when it comes back. YouTube Greg Orlovsky. Looking at the chat. We're all beat from a week of trading.
I think so.
YouTube Winstanzamom. Thank you. My assistant is looking forward to meeting your driver. I will be wearing pearls, not diamonds, if he has trouble recognizing me.
Well, since we're screwing around at this point, I might as well try and see how if this works. Okay. They seem to be trying to push through it. You see that? There's definitely something happening there. 2983.50 in the E-mini. Now all of a sudden a big order shows up.
YouTube Ace Trades. I told him to look for the woman with perfect posture holding at least one ferret. YouTube Greg Orlovsky. Ace called the short, it just waffled up.
It's going. I mean, there's some selling. It's not going. So it's interesting the way these orders are popping up for me like this. So that
YouTube Greg Orlovsky 89.
Screwed up.
YouTube Greg Orlovsky. This morning early. YouTube Greg Orlovsky 67. YouTube
So that was
Greg Orlovsky 87. YouTube Ace Trades at Greg Orlovsky. Lol. My signals have not been perfect as of late.
They have not. That one that totally was it just failing, huh? Or that would have been your get out.
YouTube Ace Trades. Great example stopped out again.
Yeah. I mean, the treasuries are kind of seem to be indicating something to me because they're getting a lot of outsized things in the 5 year. They're stirring it up.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, Ace. I was talking about the first trade. Smiley face.
Hmm.
YouTube, Ace Trades, at Greg Orlovsky. You are right, it was a good call. Maybe I just need to widen my stop, or throw my computer out the window.
Now maybe it's going. Still fighting it a little bit. The E-mini certainly
YouTube, Greg
turned there, though.
Orlovsky. Sometimes I do both.
Ransquawk. China has no intention of challenging or replacing the United States on the world stage, but the superpower should not try to block its continued development, Beijing said in a white paper on Friday.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, 15
Hello?
watching now. Please hit like. We don't want Greg Orlovsky to throw his computer out of the window.
If this video doesn't have at least 5 likes, Greg might lose it, guys.
YouTube, Winstanzamom, or Ace of Trades.
You don't want to see them angry. No, you do not. So it's interesting to me. I would expect to see another big spike before the news.
YouTube, Ace Trades, at Greg Orlovsky. God help us all. YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. I didn't take my meds today. YouTube, Greg
What?
Orlovsky. Start a clickin'.
We need to do something. So one of the problems that I have, I should try and do it with the YouTube bot again. So sometimes the way that the messages go into the robot reads them into the Discord is like out of order. And so, yeah. I bet you there's ways they could fix that, though, because there's probably a timestamp attached to every... I have to look at the YouTube API, but if there's a timestamp attached to every one of them, then the robot could fix that, and I could tell Restream and they could fix it. Or I could just directly connect it back into the YouTube API. But I don't know why it was given that. It must have been something to do with that library. Why it was making so many requests, you know? Should be 1 request per second, I think. Let's say 1 per second.
YouTube, Winstanzamom. I noticed your channel goes out of order and hysteric on another channel loses or his live stream drops comments.
That's interesting. Well, the way that the reader does it is there's a bot from Restream that is watching the API, and he echoes them into Discord. And then my robot is reading Discord. So I had it originally set up for my robot to read YouTube. But when I did that, I exceeded the number of daily requests quite quickly. And when I looked at the number of requests that Google said that I had made, it was well beyond what I thought it should have made. And I looked at the code and everything to verify the way that it works, and I was just like, there's something about the way that they track it and how many they give you that I don't understand. Holy shit. What the hell?
YouTube Winstanzamom exceeded number of requests.
Hold on. Okay. Well,
Twitch Dojo 2022. I just got filled 080.
What the fuck?
Twitch Dojo 2022 short.
You got short there, huh? Well, I got out at I don't know where I got out at. All I have to say is, for anybody that is watching this in the future, you know, you're like, oh, is Seth actually a profitable trader? Or he's making some claim and we're not sure that it's, maybe we think he's full of crap. And so let's go back and look at his trades to see his actual history and all of that. And you look at today, and I'm going to come out on top. It's total bullshit. And you should never do what I just did. Holy fuck. I got really lucky there. I mean, I knew that it was probably going to come back up, but that it came back up so aggressively. I still don't see the piece of news that make that happen. And now we're going to have consumer sentiment coming out, which, okay. FX macro Q3 GDP tracking numbers should come down 0.5% given the weaker Q3 spending numbers. MS now at 1.5 Q3 GDP expected. Everyone to come down, and a weak non-farms payroll next Friday. And market, we will have to price in an October cut. We like short USD CAD again. That's FX macro. I don't think that was the piece of news that moved us, but where did I take it off at? 08. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. You could get in again, maybe. Well, there's a lot of profit taking at 07.5.
YouTube Winstanzamom. Shall I congratulate you, or is there a word for what just happened?
The word for what just happened is the word that I used. Holy shit. Interestingly enough, though, the amount that the Treasury moved was way more extreme than the amount that the S&P 500 moved. This is going to be one of those ones where, like, we see it later. Okay, so I don't see it in the 6J.
YouTube Winstanzamom. How does sexy robot voice say, holy shish asterisk asterisk, I wonder?
There you go. I think that probably one of the squawks, like if we were listening to Rand squawk right now, and I'm really starting to think, you know, if we keep doing well, of course, I don't think that today was a good day, but if we continue to do well, they're pulling for the news, by the way. If we continue to do well, I should get a Rand squawk subscription. And then I'm betting that you would have just heard whatever the piece of news was that moved them there. And then we get it like 5 minutes later on Twitter. I suppose it could have been. It could have been that Q3 GDP tracking number stuff. Nancy Pelosi. I think where they're going is a cover-up of a cover-up. Guys, the Democrats are just a little bit. I don't see it. I think they're hallucinating. Honestly, I really think they're hallucinating. Well, we can sit and wait this out and hold it through the news, I think.
YouTube Greg Orlovsky Econ.
The number we're looking for, previous reading was, oh no, the expected is 92 and the previous was 92. I think it'll be the likely to be to underperform my expectations. Okay, so here comes. Not seeing number quite yet. Okay, the number was 93.2. Actually, not bad. What about inflation expectations, though? 2.8. Hmm. So we see big orders come in now? I'm not seeing them. Okay. Well, since I didn't get the impetus that I wanted, I think that I should take my profit here. And we'll just kind of sit and wait and see if get something more. Now they're gonna go down a new low. Shouldn't have gotten out. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, they didn't quite break there. Tough call. Treasuries are still pretty choppy here. Hmm. Something weird about that trade that I took with the one that ended up being really amazing in the 10-year. It says that I had 11 fills on it. How does that work out? I think it should be 10.
YouTube, Peuchos. Well, remember what I say 1H ago. I still wait.
Oh, I don't remember what you said. Oh well. You know what? They pushed down there, but look, they're right back to where they were. So I might not have even taken that. That's like $5. Not a big deal. I can feel okay about my exit location. Because if they push down and they make like another new low and they really start careening down there and all that sort of a stuff, then I would have to say that it was a different swing. So whatever. What did Donald Trump say here? Sounding more and more like the so-called whistleblower isn't a whistleblower at all. In addition, all secondhand information that proved to be so inaccurate that there may not have been somebody else, a leaker or spy, feeding it to him or her, a partisan operative? Question mark. We know that he was CIA. This is a key question that I would pay attention to. Um, was the leaker, well, not the leaker, he's not a leaker. I don't think he's a leaker. The whistleblower. Okay. Did should the whistleblower have actually had the information that he did? That's the question. Because he wasn't there for that conversation. He clearly doesn't have access to the transcript, or he would have included that or said something about what that said or something like that. And so what the administration seems to be trying to say is that that people told him stuff that he wasn't supposed to know. That seems to be the argument that they're making. Um, and I would say that that's actually a really good possibility, but cannot prove it at this time. Pelosi, no timetable on Trump impeachment. Of course not. University of Michigan impeachments divert the attention from the president and Congress away from economic policies and may become conflated with partisan strategies. A near record 1/3 of all consumers negatively mentioning trade policies in September when asked to explain their own words factors underlying their economic expectations. Well, now they're really starting to go down. So now I'm like, well, I could have gotten 40.
YouTube, Winstanzamam, Carnival, Cruise Line, stock prices dropped from $60 a share to $47 a share. Nice time to book a cruise. We need a theme cruise. I think dancing is a good theme. This whistleblower thing is ugly.
Well, it's definitely ugly. Although, I don't know. The thing that I would go back to is just look at what their talking points are, okay? The Donald Trump's talking point is, oh, it was a great conversation and there's nothing wrong. And the Democrat talking point is like this huge essay about corruption that's like way too complicated. And I think that it's probably more likely that it really is just an innocuous conversation. And there's kind of this whole thing about, or rather that there's no like corruption intended, at least, right? And there's this whole thing that like it's a campaign contribution, but you got to remember that that's an unproven legal theory. Like, if you've heard about this argument going on Fox News between Tucker Carlson and I forget the name of the other guy, but he's kind of supposed to be the neutral news guy. And they've been arguing. The argument that they're having between the two judges is whether or not that's a campaign finance violation. And the director of national intelligence, who when he testified, he said they looked at it and they dismissed it. So even they didn't think that it was. But the point is that the whole thing that they're using to say that that's a crime is kind of is debatable, is what I would say, right? So that's why you have to go into all of this nuance to prove that he did something wrong. That doesn't mean that they're not right, but it makes it really hard in the public square. And another thing I will add is, if you think it's ugly now, just wait. Okay? Because if this is what the Democrats do just on like an average day, what kind of nonsense are they going to start pulling out like the day before the election? You know, I'm sure that come October, there will be October next year. That is, you will be hearing all sorts of crazy stories. There will be all sorts of crazy accusations, and you will have no way of, you're going to be like, is it true or is it not? And some people will be saying there's no way that they could be making all of these allegations and they're not all true. And there'll be somebody else that'll be saying there's no way that somebody could be making that many allegations and they all be true. It's nonsense. Right? It'll get crazy. And the whole thing is they're going to try and overwhelm your ability to make a rational decision. You get bought. That's how it works, right? Modern propaganda is not necessarily designed to, tell you the wrong thing, because they know that there's so many different news sources, and you could get, you could be getting the real information from somewhere else, and you're going to look at the facts and it's going to make more sense. So instead, what they have to do is they have to bombard you with so much information that you can't make a logical conclusion anymore. That's what they're going to do. It's going to get crazy. But I think, unless there's some other shoe, I don't think that it's going to hurt him. So they're still holding the 76. I'm just thinking, so let's play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game, huh? Orders. Where's my time placed?
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. It's so sad. As an American, I can't believe the Dems are allowed to do these things.
Well, okay, so there was 77. So we're at 78. Now we're at 75. So there probably was, I probably could have gotten 50 out of that trade if I really tried. Well, you know, the thing is to me, it's I can't believe the Dems are allowed to do these things. The thing is that politics have always been ugly. I don't think that everybody realizes this. Um, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that would be saying that would disagree with me on that, and they say that what's going on today is particularly unique. But you can just go back and you can look to like when John Adams and Thomas Jefferson hated each other's guts and all of these sorts of things. Um, and there's been all sorts of salacious claims made about different politicians in the past. That politics have always been ugly. They've always used dirty tricks. You know, there's just about every kind of dirty thing that you can do in politics. It's been done before. Okay, the amendment that freed the slaves was passed with corruption. Essentially, they bought off some people, and they had to use dirty tricks to make it happen. Okay, sometimes maybe I think that some of the dirty tricks and stuff is maybe more of a feature than it is a downside of democracy. Okay. Um,
Twitch, Dojo 2022. I challenge you to a duel, sir.
yeah, there are just some situations where, you know, it's people work it out somehow, right? The thing that's different today, in my opinion, is social media. Social media is what changes it. So before,
YouTube,
hold on,
Winstanza Mom.
I'll
Do you
listen to
consider
comments.
Tucker Carlson a newscaster or entertainer or
No,
journalist? And do you listen to his shows regularly?
no.
Aaron Burr is my great uncle. Lol. YouTube, Winstanza Mom. Was.
He is not a newscaster. He is an opinion.
YouTube, Ace Trades. For what it's worth, a long signal at 76.25.
Really? I could take that one.
YouTube, Ace Trades. May be good for a pullback.
I don't know. Okay, I'll wait. It's not there right now, so I'll wait and see if it comes back. Because I am seeing a slight increase in level 2 activity here, and it's gone kind of flat. So we'll see. What was the question? Oh yeah, Tucker Carlson is an opinion talk show host, and I don't listen to his shows regularly. But if something happened on the show that was generating a lot of buzz, then I will watch it. Anyways, I think that social media is the thing that's different. And the reason that social media makes it different is because it personalizes it for everybody. So it used to be there was politics, and it was only the people that were super interested in politics cared. Okay? So like going all the way back to 2008, there was all sorts of crazy stuff. Lies told about John McCain, complaints about the media not being fair. This is an old thing. And nobody really cared. Nobody really cared at the time, and it was like basically Obama got away with it. The media got away with it, but it was only like the engaged people that cared. But then what happened was that it was around that time that Facebook came about, and the Democrat Party and the Huffington Post in particular weaponized social media. So then when the next one came around and it was Mitt Romney, both sides were trying to play the social media, and the Democrats were very effective at it, and Mitt Romney's team just totally sucked. And the Republicans felt like that they were just, overwhelmed every place, that there was no...
YouTube, Ace Trades. Short 76.00.
You went short that time, huh?
Twitch, Dojo 2022. I have a bid to close at 060, but it's not getting there.
Anyways, they screwed up. So then this last time around with Donald Trump, they said, well, what we got to do is we got to all get together. And then the conservative activists were able to make a push on social media. And so for the first time, what you have seen is both sides of the political spectrum are trying to weaponize social media. And so now it's personal to you. Isn't everybody saying this week has been
YouTube, Greg
exhausting?
Orlovsky, S strong delta in here not going up could be trapped lungs.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of the E-mini, but I'm going to stay out, I think. Our reporter in Tehran says the translation of what the Iranian president said in his headline is dubious, but David Shepard says not true, basically. Okay.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, ace nice call.
Oh, it was good. That's a great trade. Now that it's going through. Kind of flipped there really quickly, though, didn't it? And there's the Treasuries pushing highs
YouTube,
again.
Greg Orlovsky, got it for 2. YouTube, ace trades, at Greg Orlovsky thanks, it gave me 2.
So did you took it off? They're still going. It might go for a little bit more. I'm a little hesitant to take any more trades in the 10-year. I mean, I'm positive on everything. I don't know. The reason why I'm hesitant is because it's a Friday.
YouTube, ace trades, left some 1.
You still have some
YouTube,
on.
ace trades, on, not 1. Still have some on.
Gotcha.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, we. YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, ace we typed that at the same time.
I say, if you typed something and you made like a little spelling mistake or something, don't bother correcting it. Because then the robot just reads that out. And if they read out the mistake and it's funny, then we don't understand. Unless it's like really unclear what you said. When I was in high school, one of my friends taught me this phrase, and I love this phrase, and most people in the world do not operate based off of this, but it's something that I would really suggest, at least amongst your friends, that you try and implement is don't let words get in the way of communication. You know what they meant. You don't have to get over somebody for misspelling something, or well, that person, they make lots of spelling mistakes. Maybe they're not very smart. You know what? It's internet chat, guys. It's okay. Anyways, what were we talking about before that? Oh, we were talking about social media. Yeah, I don't know. This week has been exhausting, don't you think? The trading has been exhausting. The news cycle has been exhausting. I think that everybody's tired.
Greg Orlovsky, at ace thanks for the $200, bro.
Good job, man. And I think that, that's what social media does, is things that, the political people, they could get into it and they could get passionate about it.
Greg Orlovsky, you are welcome, bro.
But we always understood that it's a game. We always understood, people are going to get super personal and you're going to hear really salacious allegations, and a lot of what you're hearing is noise and is not true. And it's a game. It's a game that they play. But the rest of the public don't understand that. And you involve them in that game, and I think that it's emotionally damaging to the country now. I think that we need to change something. I don't know what. But the way that the media is operating right now is not okay. We gotta fix it. So, anyways.
YouTube Peuchos, a game, play with money, grinning face.
Yeah, there you go. It's totally a game. I don't know if it's a game, if Democrats think it's a game anymore, but...
YouTube Ace Trades, at Greg Orlovsky. I don't always call them correct, but once in a while, even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Twitch, Dojo 2022. I knew, once I heard the golden shower blurb, that the Steele dossier was BS. Just too over the top.
This is way too over the top. But so many people take it seriously. I mean, this is the crazy thing, okay? Is that if the whole Russiagate thing never happened, this thing would not be happening either. The person that was the leaker wouldn't have been looking for that as foreign intervention in an election. There wouldn't have even been a thing like on his mind, for starters, because here's what I think the truth is. I think the truth is that this guy, the whistleblower, is a Democrat that is in the CIA and is the deep state, quote unquote, but he's just a person that happens to not like Donald Trump. And so because he doesn't like Donald Trump, that influences the way that he sees things. And so when he's talking to people and he hears that, such and such was said on a call, he immediately thinks that something super bad is happening. Now, why does he think that? Because Democrats have been talking for the past year that, if you receive information from another country, that could be considered an in-kind contribution, which is a dubious legal theory.
I call FBI, you know too much.
It's a dubious legal theory, but that's what everybody in the Democrat Party thinks right now, and they've kind of tricked everybody into thinking that it's like a no-brainer thing. So he's out there looking for it, and so he's hallucinated this thing that what happened in the Ukraine call, that Donald Trump was intending to pressure him and blackmail him into giving him dirt on Joe Biden or something else like that, when the reality is that the thing is completely innocuous. The president is probably ADHD and just doesn't think a whole lot about what he says. He just kind of goes along with whatever he's feeling like saying. Okay. So that's what happened. And then he compiled all this stuff and put it into a thing. And what happened is the director of national intelligence, the people in the legal department for the intelligence agency, and the people that handle whistleblower complaints looked at the complaint, they read it, they looked at everything that was going on, and they said, no, this is okay, you're wrong. It's not any kind of ethical violation. This isn't an in-kind campaign contribution, and the president isn't subject to the same kind of rules that the rest of us in the CIA are, and so we can't press it. And that was the end of it, and that should have been the end of it. But then somebody said, well, we'll leak it to the press. So now the press is going through this same thing, where because they're already predisposed to see it as something evil, they see something there's no there. We have a transcript of the call, and this is where it kind of starts to get a little silly, is like, if you say, okay, like, I'm going to say something here. We have the transcript of the call. We know what they said, and it's completely innocuous. And I think that you're going to have a really, really, really hard time having voters read that document and then come out and say we should impeach him for it. Now, Democrats are going to say, no, that is not the transcript of the call. Okay. Listen, this is what they do, is they have two people listening and they take notes, and then they compare their notes, and that's how they make up what was said. And that's what goes in the record.
Peuchos, I am stunned.
Okay. So really it is a transcript of the call, but like, it's irrelevant. Like, they're trying to argue nuance on something that that doesn't help your case. We know what was said in the conversation, and it's innocuous.
Greg Orlovsky, Seth, thank for being a nice guy. You explain so much, it makes sense and keeps the solitude of being alone. Day trading for hour upon hour smiley face.
Right. I appreciate that, Greg, because that's, I think, what we're really here for. And I enjoy, by the way, when you come into Discord and you tell me about what you've been doing and your comments and stuff. And when you guys leave the comments on the YouTube, we backed off on that a little bit, but then last night there was a ton of comments, and we're having a lot of fun on those. You know what I think is happening, to shift gears a little bit, but that was the whole thing. I think I'm done for now for the Russia thing. I think I was getting a little bit too into that. And I do have to go in a little bit, but I think here's what I think happened. I think that because Mr. Wayland was quote unquote exposed as being not a real traitor, and he made that video trying to justify it, and from most of everywhere that I saw, people didn't buy it. They were like, dude, what the heck? You told us you were trading live. You told us that you're doing well, and now the truth is that you are.
At Greg Orlovsky, I agree. It gets pretty lonely, just me and the screen.
Exactly. And so he hasn't uploaded anything in like 2 weeks, I think. And I think that what's happening now is that some of the people that were following him are kind of going around and are finding new places. I probably need to make some more videos. Well, I have stuff planned, and I have another video. I plan on releasing it Monday. Should happen, unless I get into it and I decide, oh, there's more stuff that I need to compile or something. But I have something recorded. And that one's on technical analysis, so that one should be fun because everybody likes to talk about whether technical analysis works or not, right? And then I think we need to make one about why do traders fail. So that's another topic that we would love to discuss, right? But then I might make another video that's kind of taking a segment of that. That's like, look, guys, don't trade stocks. Because you look out, all of these guys, they want to trade stocks. And there's a lot of guys that could be really good day traders if they were just playing the right game, you know? They're just not playing the right game. They're trying to play stocks. And that's trying to play stocks short term is a... You're not going to beat the specialists. They have such an advantage over you. You just do not stand a chance. You do not stand a chance. So I think we could make that, and maybe we could continue growing. But I think that we're growing a little bit, and we're getting more people on the videos. I think in part because some of the other YouTube channels were exposed as like Ron. Wow.
YouTube Ace Trades. I have 25,000 reasons playing stocks is a dumb idea.
But yeah, and I mean, the thing is they were saying like, I'm a great trader and you should follow me, and like the drama and playing it up and everything like that.
YouTube Greg Orlovsky, specialist at the prop firm we called it a license to steal.
Yep.
Twitch Dojo 2022. People think futures and options are too intimidating and the MSM steers them toward equities.
You're right. But what we do here is it's not even like I'm an amazing trader, although I've been doing pretty okay. I'm not happy with how I performed today, but we got lucky. We got lucky, and I was screwing around. So I wouldn't consider today winning day. But you know, I don't go at it like I'm profitable all the time. So I have good times and I have bad times, and I'd say for the most part I'm break even. But this is like we can talk. You know, you can't do it alone. I think one of the reasons that so many traders fail is because they're never around anybody that wins. They don't know, you know? I don't think most people out there, because we have so many of you guys do well. Greg told me he's been in the market for, oh man, he's been doing it for a long time. Ace has been doing it for a couple of years, and he's had a lot of really great success. Uzi has been doing it for, I think, over 10 years, right? I mean, we have some
Twitch,
really
Dojo
great traders.
2022. Come on, 060, get it done.
If you get that 06, I'm gonna be impressed. Because there is no way that I would have taken a short in that run. I still don't know what the deal was with that. So now Zero Hedge is saying, so it wasn't even Rouhani lying, it was some clueless hack blasting out headlines. The oil thing. Does oil come back all the way yet? Not quite, but they're getting close. Oh, they're ticking into it now. There you go.
YouTube,
Congratulations.
Greg Orlovsky, at Ace thanks I agree, curtains shut. I'm working at RTH 1030 move. Twitch, Dojo 2022, got it.
Good job, dude. There is no way. That took a lot of guts to hold on to that trade, dude. Because you took that right at the beginning, didn't you? I mean, like before you've had that for like 30 minutes. Oof. But you really knew your levels to catch that, because there was a stop run and they came right to your price and turned right there. Maybe it was Dojo
Twitch,
had like
Dojo
1,000 contracts there.
I had a resting order to open for about an hour. Jeez.
Well, the E-mini did push up. So if I had held my trade and like been trying to go YOLO, and like if I had left it for 40, then it would have been fine. And I think that's what I should do. I've been looking at stats, And I'm finding that for me to get more than 40, I need like multiple swings. So like 40 to 50 is probably where I should be taking the profit. But since then, it's come back up above where I got in at. So
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, mid profile.
I write that the Fed seems to have little choice but increase the size of its balance sheet in the face of trillion-dollar budget deficits. If that sounds like monetizing the debt, that's because it is. That's because it pretty much is.
Twitch, Dojo 2022. I learned that if I'm going to fade, I can't be greedy.
There you go. Oh yeah. No, you're totally right. If you get a short signal, man, you can't be, you got to be careful about it going for more than a pullback. I didn't say that right. If you take a fade off of a move that strong, I would not be expecting for it to retrace all the way, although that does happen. I would get your, pullback, which can be very quick, and then you're done. In that case, it took a lot longer, but 06. Now, the thing, though, is that they did not come back all the way back down, and there was all this stuff right in here. What's with all this? So there was all this, and then they spiked it back up again, and then since then it's been down. So I'm wondering if somebody wanted to get short up there. Ooh, the kids. The birds. They're not too bad anymore because I got a compressor on it. I really think that I should get a new microphone setup, though. It bothers. I'll get in this mode where, like, do you ever get this where you feel like you got to do something? Like, I want to build the channel. I got to make more videos. I got to do this thing. I got to do this thing. I should make a website. I should do all these things. But then when it's actually time to maybe like do one of those things, you don't actually want to do it. Do you get that? And so like I keep like YouTube recommends me videos about microphones. So I've been learning a lot about microphones, and I could get a much better setup than this Yeti. I wouldn't necessarily sound better to you guys or anything like that, but I could get like a super cardioid dynamic microphone. You probably wouldn't hear the background noise at all anymore, if almost at all. But it would be like, $100 interface, and then like $150 to $250 microphone, and all this, and I'm like, let's wait. I say if we're able to build the channel up that much that justifies it, then we'll totally do it. That's like the next far off distant target. The first one was the monitor setup. Now that we got the monitor setup all up and good, we're in a good spot. We don't really need to mess with anything else. If we don't, everything else is just icing on the cake. But we do need to get a monitor stand because I have no desk space. No desk space at all. This is just monitors, which sucks. Atlanta Fed GDP Now model estimate for real GDP growth in the third quarter of 2019 is 2.1% on September 27th,
Twitch,
up from
Dojo
1.9%.
2022. It also depends on the headphones that the audience member is using too.
Yeah, well, there's like a quality ceiling. So like I was watching these videos yesterday where they were talking about, is it better to get an interface with a built-in microphone preamp, or is it better to get a separate microphone preamp so that you can get a tube preamp? And so they had these videos, a couple of people on YouTube had videos where they were like, okay, so here's one and here's the other one. And they were using like the same microphone in the chain and all of this, so that the only thing that was different was the microphone preamp. And I'm like, I can't tell a difference. And they're like, well, if you're on YouTube
And because it gets, compression and it's not 24-bit sound and everything, then you're probably not going to notice, but blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, holy crap, guys. Like, and the thing is, like, a good microphone preamp can be like $1,000. Like, you're talking about spending $5,000-$10,000 on a freaking microphone. Who's I can't remember the name of the microphone manufacturer, but once you get over the $200 to $300 range, you start getting into these really nice microphones. And the top of the line microphone for voiceover is $3,000. Can you believe that people spend $3,000 on a microphone? I can't even imagine, even if you were doing like high quality audio stuff, if that would really make that big of a difference to them. But apparently, for the people in the industry, it does. Isn't that crazy? No. But the reason that I want the microphone is, one, I think that the audio interface on this Yeti is going. And two, because I could get a super cardioid dynamic microphone that, if you were any further than this away from it, you're not going to hear much. Like, it could be like somebody could come in the room and be talking in the corner and you wouldn't hear them. Supposedly, we'd see. We'll see. I don't think it would be. But it probably wouldn't sound terribly different to you guys. Ooh. Oh, and the other thing, the microphone that I want looks super cool. Joe Scarborough. Oh, the bass really believes it.
Hey, the price on microphones will go down or up?
I think that what you're going to see over the next few years is you're going to start to see a lot more high quality microphones in a consumer range, which is to say under $200. So like right now, there's like the Yeti is like the top of the line consumer microphone that is designed for streamers. And then if you want to get something nicer, then you have to get into getting a audio interface and all of this other stuff, right? Now they've released something called a Go XLR. It's like a little mixer that has the preamps and the compressor and everything built into it. So for like, I think the new one is like $250 or something. You kind of get this all-in-one box that you can plug any kind of a microphone into. Okay.
YouTube Peuchos, smart thinking. I am waiting the next year to buy one grinning face.
But I think that what you'll see probably over the next 2 years or so is that they will start making microphones that are like the Yeti, but are a little bit nicer. So it has everything built into it, and you just plug the microphone in with USB. Because honestly, most like, why do you want to mess with preamps? And you only have that sort of a stuff so that you can put all other different kinds of equipment into it. But if all you're doing is streaming, you just want, an integrated device. And so I think that you might start to see nicer integrated devices. And then we've already seen that you can get Yetis for cheaper, right? When I bought this one, this was $200 brand new. And now the normal Yeti is like $120, and they have like a mini one, and they have a pro one, and like they have all these different kinds, right? So they're definitely getting cheaper. Yep. I don't know, but here's the other thing though. And I don't think that this is going to get better anytime soon. But the real key, because people have told me, hey, you sound pretty good. The reason is because I treated the
YouTube Peuchos is just technology from today. I know in future BTC will be 100K, but a microphone can be just.
You think it'll be 100K? So the question remains. So we're in a sell right now. What has it done today? They pushed a little bit lower, but now they're still right around 8,000. So how far down can it go? I don't know. That move down was definitely different. This kind of reminds me of like in 2017, rather. We had a big sell, and then it kind of came back up, and everybody thought it was over. I was like, nope. This one's different. We'll see. I think that we could go down and make new lows, but
YouTube Peuchos I think can go to 4K like I say 1H ago.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a reasonable number. I haven't run my charts today, so let's run our charts and see. It should be giving us some
YouTube
numbers.
Peuchos, but it's just my mind.
Yeah. Well, I've got data. I've got data that's been pretty reliable. Let's just say pretty reliable. Well, I don't even want to say. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is it's kept us out of this whole thing. So, okay. So they're saying we're still at 135, but that was at 78.97. So it still hasn't actually given us a new price. When we start getting these big moves, that's common for it to not give us data. So one of the data sources that we're getting doesn't update every day. So 98, 79 divided by 135, 73. So if we're at 8,000 times 73, or wait, 8,000 divided by 73, still 109. Interesting. So it's giving me the lower bound as 36. So you're not far off. Although last time around they went well below that. So they always play games with you when they get down to that. That's one of the things that you'll see that'll let you know is it'll come down and you think, okay, this is where it's going to stop, and they'll play games where it just keeps going lower and lower.
YouTube
and lower.
Peuchos, okay.
And then everybody will give up on it, and that's when you buy. But it says the lower bound is 36. But I got to put a big caveat on this, okay? Last time around, when it was down at 3,000, this indicator went back to 100, and they bounced off of 100. So I wonder if they do it again. Possible. But I digress. You want to know more? I post my notes every day on the Patreon. Link should be in the video description. And then I'm going to go do that right now. So we'll keep streaming a little bit because, who knows if there's more crazy. I suspect, though, I'm still not seeing a ton of big orders showing up in the treasuries. And the E-mini recovered back to where it is. So I suspect that now it's just kind of like, the scraps. That tends to be what happens on Fridays. You get a move, and then the rest of it is the guys that lost money trying to make it back up, and you just get really random stuff. Oh, that's cool. 27. And of course, if you know anybody, maybe you're not into Bitcoin yourself, but you know somebody that is really into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, and you think that they're kind of being a little foolish with their investments.
YouTube Peuchos, you think at the end of this month will be the beginning of something big?
So that's a good question because this time of year is cyclically
YouTube
not good.
Peuchos, because I feel something will happen.
So you tend to see selling, you tend to see a rise and then sell towards the end of the year. So to see such a big sell here in September, that's why I'm a little cautious to sit down and say like it's just going to careen straight down to 3,000. I think that there's a good chance that they're going to try and make another run before they sell off for the end of the year. And then they sell off for the end of the year for taxes and everything like that. Taxes and Chinese New Year and stuff. So like definitely from November to March is cyclically very negative. So I suspect that through October, you might see a lot of silliness per se, right?
YouTube, Peuchos, yes right.
Dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Okay. Friday. Hopefully that works. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Good discussion. Had fun. Please like the video and subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't done that. Because if you hit the bell icon, it makes it a lot easier to see when we're live. And we're here every day. We got like the same group of a dozen people or so that stop in and listen and chat. Really dedicated group. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't checked out the Patreon, please do so. You can see older posts. Only the subscribers can see this week's posts, but you can see last week's posts to kind of get an idea of what my indicator looks like, and so that you can prove for yourself that there's actually, some historical edge in it. And if cryptocurrencies isn't for you, but you know somebody that's into cryptocurrencies, then send them a link to it. Patreon.com/SpeculatorSeth. And we use all of that money, we put it back into the channel. So, like, we could get a nicer microphone so that we don't have to hear as much background noise. That's kind of how we make it. Or, just share the links. That's another thing, is if, you see somebody talking about which platform should I use in a thread, and I use NinjaTrader and Jigsaw, and you want to show them that, you can send them my video, right? That sort of a thing. Or if they're thinking about paying a ton of money for education, you can send them my video about why you shouldn't pay a ton of money for education. A little sloppy move there. It kind of still looks like shenanigans to me, though. Although the Yemeni is trading a decent clip. They've really made it out here. Ace is still long, isn't he? If you took that long. No, it wasn't. I forget now. He got a good long in there. It was a good job. Good job. All right, I should get going. Yeah, that's it. Stay profitable, friends.